What's up, everybody? It's Wombat. So today we're going to talk about the free BIS gear you can get in this game, where to hunt it, how to get it quickly, and just basically, if you're just getting back into the expansion, what you should be targeting immediately, and not just wasting your money on rolls. So the first thing we're going to talk about is gear that you might already have. So all of these pieces of Shirking Heels gear that were in the previous, from the previous season, are all amazing. They are basically the best gear in the game right now if you play a build that uses refreshing. Health is the #1 perk in the game, Enchanted Ward is the second best, and if you need refreshing, you swap that out with the Enchanted Ward. Shirking Heels, if you don't know, is one of the most broken skills in the game right now. It's crazy. I can play this build and get like 7,500 health every time I dodge from somebody. So that's getting nerfed tomorrow slightly. It'll still be like 5k. I don't think it's going to be enough. So go to your old gear. This stuff will go to 675 in OPRs. It is probably the best stuff in the game that you already have right now, and it is extremely overpowered. Now, when I talk BIS gear, I'm talking about PvP, OPR specifically. I'm not talking about wars. It is a minimum amount of people's normal content and playtime in this game. You're talking a half a percentage of the time you're in war, the other 99.5%, you're in OPRs. So I'm always talking PvP, OPRs. PvE is great. Some of this stuff will work for that too, but I'm never talking PvE BIS. So first step, check your old gear. Find the stuff that used to have Resilient on it. It now has health. You're going to start with a great BIS set of gear right here. The next items that you're going to want to look at are things that come out of dungeons. So there are items like the Fire of Life that are Blessed, Fortifying, Sacred Ground, and you say, why the hell would I want Keenly Empowered on a life staff? You don't, but you can go to the Kiln, and Keenly Empowered comes off of this life staff, and you can put Refreshing Move on it, and have a BIS PvE life staff. The other big dungeon piece you're going to have is the Azoth Crystal Hand Covers. These can drop out of any dungeon, and they drop with Health and Refreshing, plus a third perk. They always drop as legendary, but they do not always drop as 700. So you can see here, I got a BIS roll piece of the Azoth gear, but it's not 700, so I still have to pay to upgrade it. It's frustrating. So you're also going to have the the Halloween sets coming out, which are going to be health and fire harnessing. So if you're somebody that wants to put damage on their gear, that's going to be a BIS free set that you can get starting tomorrow. And then weapon-wise, right? So weapons, you're going to have your artifacts that are BIS. You're going to have Life Taker. You're going to have Serenity. And if you play these weapons, you're using these weapons. But other than that, for bows and muskets, you're going to want the Syncretic set. So the Syncretic set comes from any named mobs in Brimstone Sands. So the bow itself is Keenly Jagged, Enchanted, and you can add any attunement you want. I made a mistake on mine because I put Arboreal on it thinking I was going to go Arboreal on my gear. That was before I got Life Taker and realized how overpowered Void is. So I will at some point re-roll this to Void just to min-max, but it'll be after all of my other gear is done. The musket lets you add Enchanted, and you have a BIS musket. The other set's going to be the Deep River. The Deep River set comes from Siren's names, and on this hatchet, you're going to get all of this Deep River stuff when you go farm the Mount Charm on the Brute. This all drops off of him. The Deep River hatchet, you just add Penetrating Backstab, and it is insanity. The Blunderbuss, you just add Flame Attunement, and it is absolute BIS. And then there's also another bow that you can get that is the same thing as the Syncretic bow, basically, but it has Frost Attunement, I believe, already on it, and Jagged, so you would add Enchanted. And then the last thing you're going to have is the dungeon drops that you craft from Materia. Right, so in the kiln, if you scroll down to the bottom, you're going to have a whole bunch of gear that can be made from Materia. And in this case, we'll look at the Privateer's Heirloom. It uses dense materia. So I have 3,500 dense barnacles materia. I can make this ring. You can also use the dense mutator materia, and you're going to get a ton of this stuff on the season track. So you're going to be able to use this to roll a whole bunch of free 700 BIS gear. It shows up as purple here in a 2-perker / hardy. It does roll as 700 with a chance at a 3rd perk, which is always, you get it because it's a 700. But the important thing here is this rolls strength, hardy, slash. You're going to get a 3rd perk. It doesn't matter if it's good or not. I got sacred. You can then re-roll that 3rd perk using the system here at the bottom, the named item crafting. So when you want to do that, you're going to come down here, right? I've got this ring. Mine is, like I said, sacred. I pay a jewelry matrix, 3 chromatic seals, and I go in and I select Carthago, and I make that a mortal empowerment hardy slash damage, or invigorated punishment if that's your way of playing. I just don't like invigorated. I like mortal empowerment. I find it has way more value for me in OPRs. So the first one you're going to look at is the Privateer's Heirloom. This is an awesome ring. It's just, it gets you a slash hardy if you're a melee. You have to have it. Item number 2 is going to be Isabella's Breastplate. It is a medium chest. It has Magnify, and it comes with health and void harnessing. So this is one where if you're going to, add damage instead of a refreshing, you're going to go with void with your harnessing of choice. If you want void, Isabella's Breastplate is awesome. I rolled 6 of these with the materia I had and got an enchanted ward. It's a BIS piece. You're also going to have a choice of earrings. You've got the heavy earring and the life loop. One is con, one is magnified. They both have healthy toast, refreshing toast. I rolled several of these as well to make sure I got them. The reason you want refreshing toast and healthy toast is that when you're running Ankh, which everyone basically should be running Ankh at this point because you should be running Shirking Heals at this point, it's going to nerf your potions. But healthy toast, you don't get health gain from your potion. You get health gain from your earring. And that means that Ankh does not nerf it, Ankh buffs it. So you get more health from your mana pots when you drink them than you normally would, and they basically become another regular health pot on fast cooldown. Your last perk should be Nimble or Refreshing, or Regenerating. I have Nimble on both of mine. I'd like to have a Regenerating. I don't. Whatever. If you're a PvEer, the Red Hot Slag can be another good option. The Purifying drops off, and you can pick whatever you want your damage perk to be on here. If you're a PvEer, it's not great. You have to put Mortal Empowerment or Invigorated Punishment on it. There's a better option for that if you are a ranged DPS. These Moss Stompers are going to be another great option. They're health refreshing. I got Freedom on mine, but again, it's a health refreshing piece with Dex. Great way to get your dungeon set going. The Empress Dow's set. This is all light gear, and it comes with health refreshing. Again, you pick your 3rd perk. Mine just rolled with nature harnessing. Fine, that's not bad. But you can just keep buying these items until you get Enchanted Ward, if your BIS is health, Enchanted Ward, refreshing. Even if it's not, that is a great place to start. And finally, Vivify, Healing Breeze, refreshing, sacred, rolled perfect for me on the first try. I don't think there's a better healing ring in the game right now than that healing ring. So, the last one, I don't want to forget. For all of you ranged that are splitting damage, specifically bows playing Void with the new Void Gauntlet, this is going to be the best piece of equipment in the game. It's a hardy Void damage ring, and it drops out of invasions. It is terrible to farm because you have to do invasions to get it, but you can add your Mortal Empowerment or your Invigorated Punishment to it, and you have an absolute BIS ring. This one you should try to get into Invasions and farm it immediately. So that's what I've got for you on free BIS. Really, your best starting point is just go to your old gear, and your Resilient is going to have turned to Health. Health is the best perk in the game right now, outside of Shirking Heals. And you're already going to have a set that you can play in OPR just like you did previously. You're going to select your different artifacts that are going to go with it. Leather up, do the main story quest, get the attuned leather pants. They're probably the best all-around piece of gear that you get in the game as an artifact. If you compare it to the boots, the leather pants add 5% extra damage. They give you 5% more refreshing because you can get the 25 focus for basically free with all of the extra stats you get off of it. And it has an elemental version instead of a physical version. The boots are another really good option if you don't want to wear the pants, because Shirking Blessing has no cooldown whatsoever. So you can just keep on getting these empowers, fortifies, and little 500 health or 500 heals every time you dodge through an attack. So that's it for my list of gear that you should be hunting when you first join the expansion. I hope you guys found this useful, and we'll see you next time.